I'm Cass.
I'm Rachel, and you're listening to The Appliance Girls. But I think I'm really excited to, get women on the podcast.
I mean, we love men too.
If you had a superpower, any
Gosh.
superpower.
Not this one.
Any superpower, what would it be?
If you don't believe in what you're selling or you don't believe in the business, you're not going to be able to sell it.
I thought you were talking about something else. Good morning.
Good morning. I was trying to think of what time it was. I was like, is it lunchtime yet or is it morning time?
Yeah, that's just mum brain not knowing what time of the day it is.
I know. Welcome to rainy Sydney.
Yes.
It's disgusting outside.
Yes, this weather isn't very nice, but that's okay.
And it's cold. We've got
know.
our comfort pillows here.
Well, welcome to today's very special episode.
I know. What episode is this even going to be? 21?
21, I think. I don't
Yeah,
know. I've lost
I think
count now.
so.
Or 22. I
I don't know.
Oh, my goodness. We're losing the plot.
But it's a special one because
It
it's
is.
our 1 year birthday.
It is our 1 year birthday, and it's very exciting to celebrate 1
Yeah.
year of doing the podcast.
So happy birthday to the Appliance Girls.
Yeah, happy birthday to you.
I feel like we need to have a party, get the cakes out,
Yeah, I
have some
think
drinks.
Balloons, celebrate.
Balloons. That's a next week thing.
Yeah, it is, yes.
Take it out of the marketing budget.
we won't tell the boys. It's all right.
Yeah.
We'll take it out of their budget, not our budget.
Yeah. No,
So-
we've had a good year.
Yeah.
It's gone very quick.
It has gone very quick. It feels like just yesterday that we were like, yeah, let's start a podcast and see where it goes. And now it's, the time at the moment is flying by and it's actually freaking me out.
I am so scared. It is so freaky that it is June next month. It's not even funny.
Yeah, I know. And I was saying yesterday, we were going to have to start planning the Christmas party already. And I feel like we
Literally.
only just had the other one yesterday.
I know.
And now we've already got to start planning. Yeah, it's making me panic that we're almost halfway through the year.
Tough life we have having to organise the Christmas party, but
I
you
know.
know, whatever.
The perks of being in what we do.
Yeah.
So I like it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
how's the last year been?
It's been great. I mean, this episode, we really wanted to just kind of recap the last year and
Yeah.
see what we've done. We've had some amazing guests.
Yeah.
We've had some overseas episodes.
Yes, we have.
So it's been a really, really big year.
It has been a big year.
And I feel like we've done a lot, but it doesn't feel like we've done that
Yeah.
much.
I know. It's, I don't know. It's just crazy. But we have done it. When you actually look at it, because I wrote it down.
Yeah.
I mean, we have done a lot, but then it's because time's going so fast, I feel like we've only done a couple of episodes and still
Yeah.
finding our feet.
Yeah.
But in that time, we've had 14 different guests on.
Crazy.
Some from the Philippines as well. We've had guests from overseas and we've,
Yeah.
recorded abroad, which has been really exciting. We
Yep.
enjoy doing that. So that's been good. And we've even, over that, in the last year, we've built our own very own podcast studio, which has
Yep.
been very exciting. I think in the beginning, it was really good that Bella Vista has that option for people to hire out their studio. That's the Bella Vista Hotel.
Yes.
You always used to
I
get that
always
name
used
wrong.
to get it wrong.
But I reckon that's an awesome opportunity for anyone who wants to, record a podcast or get started in
100%.
something.
Because, I mean, we could have started and we could have been shit.
Yeah.
Like, we could have just been like,
I mean, we
no
probably are
way.
still shit, but
Yeah. Who cares?
Don't put that in the reviews,
But you know what I
guys.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
we could have started and gone, no, this is not
Yeah.
for us. Like, we are not doing this.
Yeah.
And instead of investing all this money in equipment and furniture straight away,
Yeah.
you have this opportunity to go to a free podcast studio and be able to record there. And it's such a good opportunity. And then that's when you go, you know what? Yeah, this is
Yeah.
good. This is good fun. We're good at this. Let's do it.
Because we could have started and been like, oh, I don't actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to do, it's just a drag and I'm, it's like pulling teeth to do
100%.
it. But we actually found out we really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so
So-
if anyone's looking to do a podcast, I strongly encourage go use a free studio first.
Yeah.
And then if you feel like, this is going somewhere or you want to invest, then that's when you start looking at the equipment
Yeah.
to buy. Because it is a big investment. It's not like a, $2 thing.
No.
It's quite a large investment. And we were lucky enough to be able to use our boardroom at the office.
Yeah.
And it's actually worked out in favour of both parties.
Yeah.
It's a big talking point for when we have meetings in here.
Yeah.
And, it's just a point of conversation. And
Yeah, because we had a few different options of where we wanted to put it in our office or our factory area. And then it ended up working out that someone suggested let's take half the boardroom.
yeah.
But I think it's been good because every time someone comes in for a meeting, they sort of see the studio and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, what's that? And then it's a talking point, and then it's actually
sure.
been really good. And
Good chill out zone.
It is.
You need to come lie
it's
down.
our counselling couch.
Yeah.
So Sometimes some of our techs need some counselling. They might come in here and have a lie down and talk about their feelings and thoughts. And
Yeah. But like you think about it as well, and it's like, you know, you don't have to spend too much money. I guess the investment is in the what's this called? Equipment that you use. But like even the furniture, like Kmart, Temple and Webster, like everything we got was very affordable.
Yeah.
It's just the equipment. But everything looks great. I mean, Kmart now is the best. So
yeah,
we're
that's
all good.
And I like that. You know, I think the biggest thing is we like setting ourselves a challenge and doing it ourselves. And, you know, we do a lot of this ourselves. We do all the recording ourselves. We only now just had someone starting to help us edit the videos because in the beginning we were doing that ourselves and it was more of a time factor.
Yeah.
I mean, we were doing it, but it just took us a bit longer.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that, you know, we figured out all the equipment, how to use it, how to record, how to edit. And, you know, it's one thing that I'm proud of us for doing.
And I feel like it was a good, like cross skill learning for us, because then we could use that to kind of do things for work as well.
Yeah.
You know, we're now video editors.
Yeah. it's on our resume.
To our voices. But like, you know, it's good to always learn things and that was a learning curve, but now that we have someone doing it, it takes a lot of time off us. But yeah, it's been really interesting. And I mean, on top of all the podcasting we've been doing, we held our first Empower event.
Yes, we did.
And that was awesome. That was really cool, getting women from our industry all in one space to mingle. And it was great because, you know, a lot of them came from like different brands and they were still
competing
so comfortable to just talk to each other. A lot of them knew each other already, which was funny. But yeah, it was a really good event and I think it was really successful.
Yeah. I think it was good because I think our main aim for the podcast was to highlight women doing amazing things, but then also women in male-dominated industries doing amazing things. And that is our main aim of the podcast, as well as highlighting what we do as a job in marketing.
Yeah.
So I think that event was really good just to see people come together from competing brands, but then come together on one night and share with each other.
Yeah.
And then it was a good opportunity for us to have a hot seat panel up the front and do what we do now, but in a live setting, which was really exciting. And that's sort of pushed us to go, no, we actually want to do more of this. And we've got more of that coming up as well, which is exciting. But yeah, I thought I was very proud after that event.
Yeah. And I think we were so nervous leading up to it. It was our first event that we were holding. Like we were hosting it. Yeah. So it was very much, you know, when you were like a teenager and you were having a birthday party and it was like, oh my God, is anyone going to turn up? No one's going to turn up. Are they going to have a good time? Are they just, you know, it was like that feeling that we were back in high school. Like, oh my God, is no one going to come to my party? And I was like, I think we were both super nervous beforehand. But then when people started to arrive and we started to have a few drinks, it was just, I feel like it just came naturally to host the night. And I feel like it really just worked in our favour.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was awesome. Awesome first event.
It was. And the pink gin?
The pink gin spritz.
Spritz was actually really good, but I didn't realise how strong they were. And after like two, I was like, I actually have to get up the front now. And I was like, I better slow down. I needed some liquid courage, but that was okay. So.
And I mean, on top of that event, we did events for work.
Yep, we had over 40 events that we did in the last year.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's almost one a week that we were doing.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, so and that's across 3 states and in the Philippines as well.
Yeah.
So, like I feel like we didn't do that many, but then when I started writing them down, I was like, far out. But it's good.
I feel like that really hit a record for us. It's more than what we've ever done.
Yeah,
and I feel like, I mean, since we started doing the podcast and started looking at what we wanted to do and everything, I feel like we've really kind of brought that to work with all the well-being and all the events and team bonding and how important that actually is for your staff. Yeah. And I feel like the staff have really responded to that. And I think it's made us better as a team.
And I think it's also thinking outside the box, like doing things differently. We don't always have to do the same things all the time that we think is going to work. You need to think outside the box for your staff, for your company, for your clients, to show that you're supporting them and because they're going to support you in return.
And you don't always have to spend money to do this. You know, it can just be taking that time out of the day. And I know, like, it made me really proud because, like, you know, we started doing Wellbeing Wednesday and sometimes, you know, we get busy. We've got to take our kids places and it's hard. You know, we've got our mum hats on, our work hats on and all these hats. But Nikita, our office manager, shout out Nikita.
Hi, Nikita.
She's started taking over that and she was making her own plans and her own Wellbeing Wednesdays. And I was like, yes, I love this because it means that we don't necessarily have to be here to do it. Yeah. Nikita will drive that and go with it as well. So it just shows that, you know, we're kind of passing it down to, you know, the girls to run with themselves. And it just, makes it all kind of worthwhile that we started that. Yeah. And then hopefully they'll continue it.
Yeah, it's just building confidence in your staff to want to continue things.
For sure.
And working on that. So
and it shows that they actually enjoyed that and they appreciated that and they wanted to do that and that didn't cost any money. Yeah. So it's like you don't always have to spend money to invest in your staff. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like you can invest mentally in them. Yeah.
But it's also been with a lot of our events as well. We've been getting them sponsored by suppliers, which I think has been amazing that our suppliers are getting on board and supporting us because we then want to support them. Yeah. And I know that over the last year, we've learnt how to now ask for money. Yeah. Like before, over a year ago, there was no way I would have been confident enough to be like, hey, can you give me money? Because give us money. Like I find it the most awkward thing and I hate it. Yeah. But in the past year, I've got the confidence to say, no, this is what we need. This is what we'll give you for this and actually be confident and stand with what we can provide for them. Yeah. And I'm happy to, negotiate. And like that's something that I've personally learned in the last year. And it's taken me my 38 years to learn how to do that. I just said my age. But before that I would never have done that. So for me, I'm learning skills.
But I think it's like knowing our worth, right? Yeah. Like knowing our worth as a business that if you give us money to sponsor this event, we will give you stuff in return. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's not just give us money and we're not going to do anything for you. It's we know our worth. We know we're big in the industry and we know that we can give back to you. Yeah. And that's you just got to stick behind that. But you're right. Like when Mick and Diane were like, go ask the brands for money, we were like, no, they don't want to give us any money. But then we actually started talking to people and talking to our account managers and they were fully on board with it. So, it's been a big change, but it's been really enjoyable. And honestly, all the brands that have supported us, it means the world to us.
It does. Absolutely does.
We really support you and you support us. And I feel like when we feel like we're being supported by a brand, we just want to do everything in our power to sell that brand and make sure it succeeds.
And you see our passion come out though when we're selling it. It's like we are working for them because we are very passionate in selling because they've provided that support for us. So that's been really good.
So it's been a big year. Yeah. While mothering and while working and while podcasting. Yeah. It's been a pretty crazy time. So we decided we're going to do some hotspot
questions. Yes. We're going to recap our reflections and highlights of the past year of the podcast.
On our little calling cards.
Yep. The Appliance Girls in Power. I love that.
All right. So I'm going to start with number 1. What's been your absolute favourite episode and why, Rachel?
Oh, this is actually really hard because
it is.
We've had so many amazing guests on. Yeah. And then we've also had episodes by ourselves as well. Yeah. But this is going to sound probably really cheesy, but my actual favourite episode is our first episode. Oh. And the only reason why is because I
need to look back and start listening to the. I've totally forgotten what we said.
Because our first episode, I was so nervous for because I'm an introvert, and so this was all new for me, and I was like, I don't know if like I was excited to do it, but I just didn't know if I was going to be able to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but then it was funny. We just started talking, and then. I don't know, just suddenly the cameras and microphones and everything disappeared. Yeah. And I got to the end of the episode and I was like, I actually really enjoyed that. Yeah. So I think for me that was a highlight and it was my favourite episode because it actually sparked the joy in me and I was like, I actually really want to do this. So I'm going to go with episode 1. Might be a bit cheesy, but I mean, sorry to all the guests because we've had some absolutely amazing guests. Yeah.
But well, it wasn't what's your favourite guest. It was what's your favourite episode.
What about you? Because we've covered lots of different topics.
There's so many to choose from. But I think definitely the start, like the first few episodes that were just me and you, if we're putting guests aside, I think those episodes really, I feel like that's where we grew as people. And, you know, we always had the intention of doing just those episodes by ourselves so that we could learn how to kind of do this.
Yeah.
But I feel like it gave us an opportunity to really shine as people, and we got to uncover a lot of things about ourselves.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I feel like it was just a good time to learn, and we had a few bloopers and it was fun, and it was a good time. But I think the first few episodes were definitely kind of our coming into the podcast world.
I think because what we wanted to do in the beginning was to share a little bit of ourselves and our stories and who we are as people and women and mothers. And I think it was a good chance for us to share about ourselves, because I think a lot of times when you're an adult, you don't delve too deep in terms of who you are with people. It's quite the surface level. So I found it was a good opportunity to sort of go, hey, I'm actually a mum of 4 and I'm working, and this is what we're trying to do, and actually share that, and then, you know, the backstories and those sorts of things. So,
and I think it was good to reflect on that, because like we say all the time, not often do we sit down and reflect on our life and go, oh, you know, I'm a mum of this and I do this for work. And it's like, frick, we do a lot and we kill it. And I think in those episodes we really spoke about it. And then at the end of those episodes we were like, oh my God, we do a lot. And we're damn good mums and good workers, and we rock at marketing. And just to acknowledge that, what we do. So,
and I think that's with having our guests on, that's been the good thing as well, because we're getting to know, we're asking them those questions. And I have learned so much from all of our guests, like from the questions we've asked. And I wouldn't have learnt that in a normal conversation, because you're not sitting there grilling them question after question. Yeah. But there were so many things that came out in those episodes. I was like, oh, I didn't know that, even though we'd sort of done our own investigation and research and those sorts of things. So it's been,
it's so funny how all the guests we've had on, you know, they're all such different people. Yeah. They're all from such different areas of, you know, industries. Yeah. But they all have very similar, not stories, but similar traits that came up that we were like, oh, we spoke about this last week as well. And it was like, it just was good to know that we kind of all relate in some way, but we are totally different in our own way as well. Yeah. If that makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, I would say the first few episodes.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I like it. All right. Was there a guest or moment that surprised you the most this year?
There were actually a lot. And I feel like after a few of the episodes, we were like, oh, that was good. And we were like, we weren't expecting maybe to go for that long or to talk that much, but we did. But one guest in particular that surprised me, I'm going to say Christina. Yep. I know she's my friend, and that's a bit biased, but I think she surprised me in the fact that she was super nervous. Yeah. Like she said she was really nervous because it was her first kind of official podcast.
Which is funny because it doesn't come across that, like she comes across very confident.
Exactly. So it was funny because she was practicing with Jalal, her husband, beforehand, and she was quite nervous. But once she got on, she was like a natural. And I was like, at the end of it, I said to her, I was like, you were fine. You were natural. You did really well. You should do more of these. Yeah. And she just had so much insight to tell. And I feel like, that surprised me because I was like, you go, girl.
Yeah. And that's where you don't judge a book by its cover because, you know, she looks so confident and I just assumed like this is her thing. Yeah. And then to hear, well, actually she was really nervous. I'm like, oh, that didn't come across at all. And, you know, she did amazing. And
but then when she started speaking, it was like, you're good.
And it's been good because then QR, her company, has been using clips from the episode for the advertising and which has been really good. So I'm glad that she's been able to use it as well. So that's been really good.
So good job, Christina.
Yeah, good job. I like that.
What about you?
There's been so many. I think when we interviewed Leah Itzinas, and when she opened up about her postnatal depression, I think she was quite open. Yeah. And I wasn't. She went into quite a lot of depth of what she went through, and I was, you know, I was happy that she was able to share that because then people could, what's the word? People were able to relate to that. Yeah. So I was, really surprised that she went into a lot of depth with that because talking about, you know, the trolls and that impact on her because that's also hard to then talk about the trolls because then you're opening yourself up for then more trolls to troll you because you're talking about the trolls.
For sure.
So for her to be so confident to talk about that, I think that was really great.
Yeah.
In that episode. So,
yeah. No.
Yeah.
I
Thanks,
agree.
Leah. That was good.
All right. What was the biggest blooper or behind the scenes fail we never aired?
We've had a few bloopers.
We have.
We've had a few bloopers. We have several times. We do film with several cameras, and there have been times where mid episode, because we don't edit our episodes, so we don't cut or anything. It's just a straight record.
Yeah.
There's been several episodes where our cameras have shut off.
Yeah.
Like one of the cameras has shut off. So you might notice in some episodes you'll see the shots of Cass and I and our guest, but then suddenly at the end it's just either
just the guest
or just Cass and I. So that's happened several times, and we've had a bit of some failures with our stuff that we've been trying to work out, but it's just.
I think we have worked it out.
We have worked it out, but this is because we're all doing it on our own. Learning curve.
But even with that, it's funny because, like, you know, like we'll be sitting there and we hear the and our eyes are just like. Oh.
I look over at the camera and the red light's gone, and I'm like, okay, let's just keep going.
And so many times I'm thinking in my head, should we just stop it and then we'll edit it out? Should we just stop? Should I just stand up and go, oh, sorry, I just got to turn this on, or should I do it? And I'm like, you know what? No, this is the realness. This is raw. Yeah. We're not editing anything. This is staying as is. Yeah. So, you know, we ran with it, and it's good improvisation for us as well.
I mean, because we're sitting here and we've got no one behind the cameras, and no one producing. Like, we're just doing this on our own.
Yeah.
And then there've been times where I've been sitting there mid-conversation with a guest, and then I'm like, did I press record on the sound? Yeah. Did I plug the cord in? I didn't check this? And it's been interesting because in the beginning we used to record it on our phone. We only recorded on the phone, and then we were obviously the angles weren't the best, and so we needed to. So we've got
quality.
The quality wasn't the best either, and we wanted to get better with our editing, and so we've got to come with several cameras now.
Yeah, that's definitely funny.
Yeah.
I think I remember as well. There was one episode. I think it could be our very first episode. I'm pretty sure. And we started and we were talking.
Oh, this was episode 2.
Yeah, and then you were like talking on a story, and then all of a sudden you're just like, what the fuck am I talking about? And we were like, oh, and then we're like, let's just start the whole episode again. Because I remember done.
I was like on a high after the first episode, and because we were in the beginning we wanted to do weekly, and then we went to the second episode, and I was like, I was in the worst mood that day, and I was like, all right, get in the right mood. You got to do this. And then, I just was going on a tangent. And then I was like, fuck this. What the fuck am I talking about? And I was like, all right, let's just restart.
That's the only time. To stop and just restart the whole episode. But then that episode was fine. But it was just funny because and it's actually pretty good that that's only happened once. Where we've had to stop and actually start again.
Yeah.
Like, there's not been any other times where we've had to do that. So that's pretty impressive. But, that was funny.
Yeah, that was episode 2. I think we actually did cut that together. I think we kept the beginning.
I think we did. I think we just cut out your little tangent.
Yeah, I just went on this and I was like, I can't even go with that. So, anyway, that was funny. But we've had plenty of bloopers. I mean, I always get my words mixed up.
I know.
I just can't talk, and I sound like
I just forget what
a 2-year-old.
Word is.
I know, it's interesting. But there's some of our bloopers. All right, is there a topic we covered that really stuck with you or changed your perspective?
Oh, God, I don't know. We've covered so many topics, so I feel like my brain is a schmozzle, but there would be.
Do you know what it is? I think a lot about, like, every episode, a guest has come out with a quote. Like, I'm going to have to go back through the episodes, right?
Sure, yeah.
And every episode, each of our guests have come up with this quote. And I'm like, and I'm just going to have to note them all down because there have been some amazing quotes that it's actually hit my head. I'm going, and I've actually spoken to those, like, other people about those quotes as well. But
I think if I think of the quotes, I feel like Jilly's one was good. Like, success is over cringe mountain.
Yeah.
I feel like that changed us a little bit. I feel like before Jilly came on, I feel like we put so much effort into our TikToks and so much thought into our social media that it's just like, after that I was like, shit, we just need to put ourselves out there and just be stupid. Like, that's all TikTok is just like stories and just talking or doing a dance or whatever. So I feel like that probably changed my perspective on TikTok.
Yeah. So success is on the other side of cringe mountain is what Jilly said. So Jilly Clark is, we had on episode, I can't remember what episode number that is, but beauty TikToker, and she's doing amazing at the moment. So her followers are growing, and she's doing amazing things, and she's partnered with Sephora now. And when I look back at that episode, completely different to now. Totally different. So good on you, Jilly. You're doing a great job out there. And that quote was a good one, actually.
Yeah.
And I think we did go, why are we putting so much effort in? People just want to see the raw version. Like, it doesn't,
for sure.
like, I still panic now, but just enjoy it and have fun, I think is the main aim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just, I feel like we learned from that episode as well. If you think of something, just go do it.
Yeah.
Like, don't think so much about it. Like, oh, we'll do it next week because we've got to do this. It's like, just go film it.
Yeah.
Just go do it and post it and whatever.
Yeah.
And that's it. So.
That's like we did the other day, because you were like, let's film the boys, because obviously we run our The Appliance Guys socials as well, and we're like, let's just go ask the boys some random questions, and we're like, stuff it, they're going to have to answer them. So we did that, and it was quite funny. And we all found out they want to be strippers.
Yeah. Calendar coming soon. But it's just like, just do it. Just don't put it off and just do it.
Well, speaking of actually socials and bloopers, we did have our Instagram disappear after we grew it all last year as well. So that was also a fun turning point. So
yeah, I would say that was probably the
biggest blooper. Disaster. Yeah, we grew a nice community, and then thanks Instagram.
Thanks Instagram. See you later.
And we start again.
All right. What's one thing you've learned about yourself from doing this podcast?
Ooh, definitely that I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm not as introverted as I think I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still say like I am an introvert, but it's weird. I used to not cringe, but get anxiety in social situations and overthink everything of what I said before, during, after. But now I think I've been, since doing this and then doing a lot of our events, I feel like I'm putting myself out there more. I'm actually enjoying it. Whereas before I'd be anxious, whereas now I actually look forward to the social aspect of it. So yeah, I've definitely come out of my shell a lot more and learnt a lot from you in that aspect. So yeah. What about yourself?
What have I learned about myself? I always knew that I could talk a lot, so that wasn't a new thing. I think learning about myself is just kind of acknowledging that I can do this. Yeah. If that makes sense. Like, I'm super confident, like I am, but in a way I'm not. Like, on the surface, I'm very confident, but then inside, sometimes I'm like, oh, God. But I feel like this has just given me more confidence. And, you know, everyone commenting on our episodes and stuff has been really reassuring that what we're doing is good. And, I think just learning that we're persistent and we're resilient as well is a good thing.
Yeah, it's good. And we always, like, the positive comments have been really good. And, you know, obviously we've created this as well as a marketing avenue for the Appliance Guys, so it goes hand in hand. But obviously there's going to be people that don't align with what we do or don't because it doesn't relate to them, and that's perfectly fine. But I think we've been able to just laugh off the funny comments that we've 100%. Had. Like, we've had comments like, where did this come from? Or what did one guy say? Oh, they're giving out podcasting equipment to everyone now. And I just laughed. And then we had, I don't know, someone comment on one of our latest episodes of Mona.
Mona, yeah.
And it had nothing to do with what he was commenting anyway. So we replied back, but he never replied. But it's like, just funny.
I think at the beginning, like when we started this, our intention was never really that we were going to have 1 million followers and we were going to be influencers and we were going to be top podcasters. Like, we're doing this for ourselves. Yeah. And people just get so upset about that. Yeah. Like, oh, what, are they giving podcast equipment out for free these days? It's like, well,
they're not, because we paid for
it. Then we'll buy it. Like, it's just like, I don't know, like, I feel like some people do podcasts where they do want to become big and they do want to become big podcasters and well known. Yeah. And that's great. But
for us, it's something different.
Yeah, we're not doing it to get 1 million followers. Like, we're doing it for ourselves and for our community, and that's what we're happy with. Yeah. So
we're here to share people's stories and for the people that want to listen.
Exactly.
And then it's also a way for us we host events as the Appliance Girls, and it's a ploy on the Appliance Guys, and it's for us as marketing directors, it's a marketing ploy.
Yeah, for sure.
But we've just found something that we enjoy, and that's okay. And if people want to listen. If you don't listen.
If we get 0 followers and 0 lessons, then who cares? Like, whatever. But it's just, something for us to do. It's like our outlet, and it's our personal development as well. But, you know, trolls will be trolling for the rest of their life. So
keep trolling.
Keep trolling. Like, you know, just...
We actually laugh about it now, so it's good.
And it's good because we do it together, so we can just laugh about it together. And it's like, you have way too much time on your hands to go and comment on someone's podcast.
But it's also then it's worked because they've seen our video.
Exactly.
So then obviously we're doing something right because you've seen it.
No PR is bad PR.
So yeah, that's good.
All right. If we... Oh, yeah, okay. If we could go back and give ourselves advice before episode 1, what would it be?
Ooh. That's a really hard one because there's like...
It is a hard one.
I feel like we've learnt as we've gone.
Yeah,
But I think, just to not give a shit.
Yeah.
Just, you know, talk the way I want to ask the questions I want to ask and just be myself.
Shoot our shot.
Shoot our shot, yeah. That was our motto last year, was shoot our shot with everything that we did. We were like, stuff it, we're just going to shoot our shot, and if we do things and get things.
I think that would be the biggest advice, honestly, to go back, because I think at the very beginning we were very like, oh, who are we going to get on?
Yeah.
How are we going to ask them? Like, are people even going to want to come on? But I feel like advice to Cass and Rach pre-podcast is shoot your shot.
Yeah.
You know, message them. If they reply, great. If they don't want to come on, that's fine. And it's just, that's all good. Like, what's the worst that can happen? They say no.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And I like that too, because we've spoken as well that a lot of what we're doing as well is we're trying to show our kids that we have a passion for something.
For sure. Yeah.
And my son who's 12, my daughter's 10, they keep asking me every week, oh, when are we coming on the podcast? Because I mentioned to them that we'll get them on the podcast. So they just keep mentioning it. So I'm like, you guys, but then they want to design their own podcast. And I was going to say this before as well. That's the other thing as well from this, is that not that we've inspired other people, but encourage other people to want to start a podcast. Because a couple of the boys, our texts have been like, oh, we want to start a podcast like about basketball or about their passions and those sorts of things. I'm like, so it's actually encouraging other people to want to start something as well, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, and we've been super open as well. Like, you know, a few of our guests have said, you know, they want to start a podcast. Like you said, some of our guys. And we're like, come use our equipment. Just do it in here and do a couple of episodes. If you like it, great. If you don't, don't.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. All right. What's your proudest moment from this past year of podcasting?
I think what's made me proudest is actually getting recognised for what we're doing. Not getting recognised, I mean, like on the streets where people are going, oh, you're the appliance girls. No, not that. But in our industry, I feel like we've come up a lot in conversation.
Yeah.
And I think that's been kind of a starting talking point, like you said, here. And it's been a funny ploy where everyone's like, oh, the appliance girls are taking over.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that recognition of we're actually doing something and we're not, you know, just standing behind the curtains or anything. We're trying to make something for ourselves. And, yeah, I think that's been the proudest moment, is getting recognised.
Yeah. I know we've been
not on the streets, like I said, we're not celebrities, but like in our industry.
In our industry. Well, actually, we've been to a few events, and Michelle Finney, who we had on the podcast.
Yes.
Michelle works in the hotel industry, so she used to work for Meriton, but now she's moved on. She's in Melbourne now.
Yeah.
I can't remember where she's moved on to now. But it was funny, when we went to the event at Meriton, she was like, oh, the appliance girls.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
and we were like, oh my God, we are celebrities.
But she was really good when she came on as well. And that was a
great.
different perspective. And she had some funny stories that we shared about things that she's found in hotel rooms and things. So that was interesting as well. But yeah, it's been good. Just, not that being recognised, but
yeah, not being celebrities and people are going, oh my God, look, the appliance girls are over there. It's like just in our industry, and when we're going to meetings and people saying, oh yeah, I've seen your podcast, or I've listened to it, or whatever it is, in any small way, it just shows that what we're doing is worth it.
Yeah, it's good.
What's your proudest moment be?
Proudest moment. I think for me it was our event is probably my proudest moment. But doing the hot seat. So normally I would have been really I was nervous beforehand, but while we were doing it, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I felt quite proud afterwards that, you know, we were able to share and have those stories in front of other people and do what we're doing now, but in a live setting.
Yeah.
And then that also encouraged me then to go, I actually really want to do this for a lot more events. So,
yeah, for sure.
Which is...
I love hosting and I love emceeing and it's fun to do.
Yeah.
But I think as well, now that I think about it, like another proud moment. I know there's been so many. We're just so proud of ourselves. But I just feel like every guest that we've had on afterwards has been like, you guys made me feel so comfortable.
Yeah.
That was so fun. You guys were so easy to talk to. And I feel like that just, I don't know, it just made me feel good about how we run our podcast.
Yeah.
Because I know, you know, different industry podcasts can be different. You know, there can be casual kind of style, very formal, business. But I just feel like that feedback from the guests that actually came on where they've said, you made me feel so comfortable that I could just talk. I feel like that just makes me feel that we've done a good job.
Yeah. And I think it's also, we've made them feel comfortable that they've been able to share their stories. I know quite a few of our guests have opened up about their mental health struggles, which were things that we learnt while doing the podcast as well. So knowing that they felt comfortable to be able to share that in a setting that we were sharing, like a podcast that's going live on, you know, multiple platforms. You know, we're proud that we're able to make them feel comfortable to want to share that. So then that will help other people as well. So yeah, I like that. That's good. Who's a dream guest we haven't had yet but would love to have on?
Who's a dream guest? Look, if we think big, I always was thinking of, like, not thinking of messaging her, but it would be someone cool to have on to hear her story, is the Boost founder, Janine. Yeah. She always puts really good things on LinkedIn and she's always, you know, very inspirational. So I think she would be cool to talk to and learn a lot about business in a business sense.
Yeah.
And, you know, a woman in a high role.
Because our last set of series of guests were women in business. So we were highlighting women doing amazing things in their own business. And I think, that would be a really exciting one to listen to because all of their journeys have been, like you said before, different but the same.
Yeah.
Where they've been thrown into something and that's become, you know, what they've got themselves into. So I think that would be a very good episode.
And she does post a lot on LinkedIn about, you know, being a woman, you know, when she was starting Boost and, you know, not having that support, I guess. But, you know, starting her own business and it wasn't really a big thing, you know, for women to go out there and start their own businesses, I guess. But she always does talk about being in kind of a dominated sector. So, should be interesting. What about you?
I don't know. That's really hard. I think I'm going to flip the question. I would like us to be a guest on someone else's podcast because I want to know what it feels like on the other side.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, obviously we've interviewed ourselves, interviewed each other, but I think being a guest on someone else's podcast would be an interesting experience. Yeah. So I think I'm going to flip the question and say I'd like us to be the guest.
Yeah, okay.
So anyone out there? We have actually had a couple of people message us.
We have. We just never followed through.
No. So
and I think at that stage we were a bit like,
we'd only been a couple of episodes in. We're like, we don't know what we're doing yet.
We're not.
But I think, and I did miss a question there where it says what's something new you'd love to try with the podcast in year 2. But I think that is cross-collaboration.
Yeah.
And actually, collaborate with another podcast and jump on there as well.
Yeah.
Which would be exciting.
Many.
There is.
Growing millions.
I listen.
They're handing podcast equipment out to anyone.
I know. Anyone can do it. So anyone who's just been handed the podcast equipment, would you like to get us on?
All right. If we could do a live show anywhere, where would it be and why?
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
It's a hard one.
That is a hard one. I don't know about location. I think just doing a live show in general. I know we've got plans to do brand nights for our property managers. So that's in the works for this year with some of our brands and suppliers to do a big function.
And I think it's not so much a live show, but what we did at the Empower event where we hosted it and we did the live panel and at our brand nights where we're looking to do similar things. Yeah. I feel like just doing more of those to get us out of our comfort zone more as well.
But if you asked me a year ago if I'd ever say, like, I'd be so excited for that.
Yeah. You'd be like, no.
No. I'd be like, yeah, I'd do it, but I would be very nervous. But now I'd be like, yeah, I actually really want to. Yeah. I find it exciting. Yeah. Which is different. I wouldn't have had that feeling before.
And it's so funny because, like, because everything's not edited, and you know what we do live at our events is not obviously edited. It's just like so many times you'd be thinking like, what the fuck am I saying?
Yeah.
Or what did I say? Because you know after you just like, it's like your memory's wiped. Yeah. It's like, what did I even talk about? But it's just like, I feel like that's what we've learned that people like. Like they like that it's raw. They like that it's not edited. They like that we're just talking straight from the mouth.
Yeah.
And you know, we're not editing anything. And I feel like it's made us more confident because we can just say, you know what, if we say dumb shit, then we say dumb shit. Like, whatever.
Yeah. What I found as well is because people find it weird that because obviously spoken that I was a teacher before, but that I was an introvert. They're like, how can you be a teacher if you're an introvert? Yeah. But for me, inside the classroom was completely different. When I was in front of a class, I was an extrovert and I loved it and I was passionate about it. But then outside the classroom was completely different. So I feel like I've transferred what I felt inside the classroom and I've been able to now have that same feeling in a different setting. So on the podcast and in our events and things. So it's been good for me to see that transfer of skills. So I'm still being able to have that passion, but in a complete different setting.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
And I think, like, you know, we've spoken about trolls and everything, and I just look back at all the guests we've had on, and something that's come up at the events we've gone to as well, and it's just like, people are like, oh, who gives them the authority to speak about this stuff, and who gives them the authority to have a podcast? It's like, well, we don't have authority. We're having the audacity to start our own podcast, you know? Like, it's just, you don't have to have a million certificates on the wall to say that you can talk about a subject. Like, we're saying our opinion. Everyone has multiple opinions on things, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, there's no, like, you have to have a stamp to say that you're allowed to talk about these things. Yeah. It's like, it's just sharing stories and sharing
And we're just sharing our, exactly. We're sharing our experiences, and then we're sharing our guest stories and our guest experiences, because they've got so much to share, and I definitely highly recommend everyone going back and listening to the episodes, because you know, I've learned so much about how they've experienced things and how they've gotten through and where they are now. And it's just people's experiences that people can learn from.
I'm going to throw another spanner in the works here and add a question to this. Great. What's one thing do you think you've been hardest on yourself about when you listen to the episodes?
My voice.
Yeah, my laugh.
And don't do that. So one, I will say, a struggle which I'm trying to get through is the filming.
Yeah.
And then like every time afterwards we analyze, I'm like, oh my God, that looks terrible.
So
and I just got to be like, whatever, it is what it is. Like, I'm very insecure in terms of that aspect. So I'm still working on that. But definitely my voice and our laugh.
Mine's my laugh. Like, it doesn't make me upset. Like, I'm not like, oh, my laugh is so bad. I'm crying about it. I laugh at my laugh because it's so bad.
Yeah.
But I think it sounds different on a recording than it does in real life.
Yeah. And then sometimes I'll listen back to an episode, because a lot of times I'll listen back first before I upload it.
Yeah.
And then I just go, oh, like I cringe either at the way I said something or whatever. And then I'm like, oh, it is what it is.
Every time I hear my laugh, it's like, I die. But, you know, we can laugh about it.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm not going to go cry in my room now. I'm happy to.
Well, no one's commented about your laugh.
No one has, no.
Don't comment about it.
And people do. I don't want to get into the whole troll thing, but man, TikTok is really brutal at the moment. Like, I've been reading comments on some videos, and it's just, it's tough.
Yeah.
I don't know how influencers do it. Kudos to you, because I can't have someone analyzing my whole life.
Everything about
you. Do,
everything you do, your looks.
Talk, where they go for breakfast, where they go for lunch, what clothes they wear. Yeah. Like,
that's what, when we interviewed Leah Itziness, and she was saying how, like, she had, what did she say in the episode? That she laughs now, but she was saying how her...
someone said she was built like a door.
Built like a door, and that her baby was ugly and things like that. Says that. Yeah, like, who says that about a new... Anyway.
Yeah, so those are the trolls be trolling, and look, we're giving them airtime. I don't know why we do, but, you know, whatever.
We can laugh about it, so anyone out there, just laugh at them.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So I guess the next year, what have we got?
Well, we're going to continue with looking at women in business.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we've got...
there are so many.
There is so many. Yeah. And as I said, we learn so much from their journeys of where they've been, where they're going, doing amazing things. But I'm excited for the guests that we're going to have on in the next year.
Same. We're going to have a bit of a break because I'm
yes,
going on holidays.
You are going on holidays. You're leaving me.
You can do a single episode.
I was going to say, do I do a solo episode where I just
all by myself?
I might actually do that. I'll do a solo episode and I'll just talk to the camera and I'll just look
Hey, we can
straight
do
at
a
the camera.
Zoom episode.
Actually, we
I'll
could
zoom
do that.
in.
While you're on a boat in Croatia.
Boat in Croatia.
And I'm sitting here in Eastern Creek. We could do that actually. But no, we will
we got a good year. We've got more events coming.
We do. We have one this week.
A group on LinkedIn
yes, we
for
have.
our industry, women in our industry.
Yeah, so the plan for that as well is to have regular meetups with women in the appliance industry, which will be good just to catch up and share. And I've learned a lot actually in the last year about the appliance industry because it's so different to what I've ever been into. Everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
But then there's so many people that have so much to share.
Yeah.
That why aren't we just learning from each other? Even though we work in competing businesses or suppliers, sorry, we can always share.
Yeah,
there's enough room for everyone.
Exactly. There is.
I'm very excited.
Is a big place.
It is. And I'm also looking forward to ramping up with some podcasts with the appliance guys in terms of some of our techs. So we want to have a bit of a tech talk. And we will, and I know we said this last year, Michael and Gian.
No, they're avoiding us. They're never going to come
They
on.
are avoiding us.
They're never going to come on. Honestly, I don't even know why we bother. We just want to share their story.
We just want to share their story because they've got a very powerful story of how they started. So I'm just going to keep badgering them to get on.
Yeah, I think we just need to harass the
I think we just surprise them. That's the plan.
And lock them in the room.
Lock them in the room with the mics. Because their biggest problem was the couch. They didn't like the couch. So we said we can move the equipment to the table.
No, but then still they said no.
But we're just gonna have to do it.
Look, that's on our bucket list.
It is on our bucket list. So
we'll be 90 and we'll be like, do you want to come on the podcast this weekend?
If anyone's listening and you know Michael and Diane, can you send them emails, SMS, WhatsApp, text, whatever, just harass them and say,
we want to hear your
story. Go on the podcast. We're going to start a movement because we need them on. So
yeah, no, it's going to be a good year.
Yeah.
Got a lot planned.
We've got a lot planned.
A lot in the works.
A lot in the works. And we're looking forward to sharing that all with you as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so thanks for listening.
Yep, for the past year.
Yep. Hopefully you keep listening for the next year.
Yep.
And if you have any suggestions,
I was going to say,
anyone you want to come on, anything you want us to talk about,
or if you yourself want to come on and want to be a guest, let us know as well.
Yeah, we'll take anyone.
And if there is a podcast you think we should approach to go on as well, let us know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you for speaking with me.
A bit nostalgic.
Oh.
Nah, I'm kidding. Nah, it's been a good year.
It's been a good year.
It's going to be a good year coming, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
And
bring it on.
Watch this space. There may be a van or a truck on the road with our faces on
it. Oh, yes. I'm going to work on that. Okay.
All right.
We're ready to go shoot our shot for the next year.
We're going to go shoot our shot.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.